Today's episode is brought to you by MuscleEgg. MuscleEgg is 100% liquid egg whites that are uniquely flavored to satisfy your sweet tooth. I've been using MuscleEgg for years now, and honestly, it's the only way I can eat eggs. I'm a very picky eater. I know. Anyway, try the MuscleEgg for yourself. The link is in description below.
Hello, beautiful people of the world. Today I'm going to go over my post Pittsburgh Pro show thoughts, feelings, self-assessment, all that. So I've had about a week to reflect on everything, to gather some feedback, to look at photos and videos, and yeah, I just want to go over it with you guys because I know a lot of you are interested, especially with judges' feedback. I feel like a lot of people are so curious every time I compete what the judges' feedback was. So let's go ahead and jump on into it. So first and foremost, what did I do differently during this prep? Well, Coach Adam and I definitely tried to push the fullness even more so this time. And you guys know that's where I get a little bit nervous, is trying to push the limits with fullness. Because for me, I feel like I am it's harder for me to pull off a fuller look, and I'd much rather play it safe, if you will, and make sure I come in with really good conditioning, right? So that means for this prep, we ate more and tried to consume more carbs throughout. But for me, it definitely it worked in my favor for this show, no doubt. I had some fuller shoulders this time around. However, my conditioning, in my opinion, took a little bit of a hit, okay? And there's certain places where you can tell, like my glute hamstring tie-in, for example. Yes, my shoulders look much better this show. I'm much fuller, which is, ideal for bikini. However, my glute hamstring tie-in does not look as good as in my previous shows, such as the Wasatch Warrior, for example. So as you can see, one thing got better, but one thing kind of got worse, right? So, it's all about learning your body and how to balance that out. Ideally, next show, I will come in leaner, but try to keep that fullness in my shoulders at the same time. So yeah, carbs kind of scare me sometimes. So Coach Adam really has to kind of talk me into eating carbs sometimes before a show, because I'm always afraid I'm going to spill over, which is a real thing. That's the thing about carbs, right? You try to push as much as you can with the fullness, but hey, if you start to spill, then it's game over, right? I don't think I really spilled that much, but I will say I appreciate a more tighter conditioned physique for me personally. But like I said, I can't complain. It got the job done. I got second place at this show, which I was actually super happy about because, as you guys know, this Pittsburgh Pro show especially was loaded with great talent. And I got to compete against some Olympians, and it definitely, it was a challenge, but it got the job done. So anywho, that's what I did differently with prep this time around. And of course, I spent a lot of attention on the shoulders, the upper body in general, the arms, the back, and maybe less attention on my glutes. And that could be one of the reasons too why my glute hamstring tie-in wasn't quite as poppin' this time around. But I'm sure next show, which is Mile High Pro show, by the way, I'm sure next time I'll have it more put together, because I'll have about a month gap in between. So you guys know I usually compete quite frequently. So for me to take a month off from competing is so hard because I want to jump into like every show. And then when I do see shows taking place, I get serious like FOMO. I'm like, dang it, I should have competed in that show. Oh my gosh, I have regrets. You know what I mean? So it is hard for me, but you know what? I want to take this month and really focus on dialing in that conditioning, but really making sure my arms are good to go and they're getting bigger and better, which they are. They for sure are. but from show to show, if it's like a 2-week gap in between, you're not going to see crazy changes, right? So I think with a month, that'll give me a good little push, right? Good little push to put on some size in the upper body and keep that full, but also getting my crispy tie-ins back. So let's talk about makeup, hair, and my suit. So makeup, I always do my makeup myself. I much prefer it that way. I don't want to be on anybody's time schedule. I don't want to wait for anyone. I actually find it to be quite relaxing before competing, just doing my own makeup. And, for me, this is my personal preference. This is what I like to do. I don't really let anybody else do my makeup. But I tried some new lashes this time, and I actually like the look of these new lashes. They're Angel Competition Bikinis makeup line, which is new, and it's their lashes. They're much more dense and full than what I'm used to wearing, which was actually great because it definitely hid my lazy eye. So you guys might or might not know, I do have strabismus in my left eye. I had surgery on it 2 years ago, but it's starting to return, unfortunately, which means I'm also getting double vision again. But hopefully it doesn't get too much worse before Olympia, because I do not want to get surgery again anytime soon. It is so miserable, and it takes a long time to recover for such a small little area. Anyway, hair wasn't my favorite. I had a little bit of a frizzy issue going on. I kind of styled it myself and could have done better with it. Yeah, a little bit humid in Pittsburgh. It was rainy that day. Not to make excuses, but yeah. For the suit, I wore a brand new suit for this competition, of course, from Angel Competition Bikinis. Use code AshleyKfit at checkout to save and to support me. But this suit was named Electric Kale. Yes, I named it Electric Kale because it's super fun. It is very similar to the Wasatch Show, except lighter. So I thought the Wasatch Show bikini was beautiful, but I thought, you know what? It might look better a little bit lighter. So yeah, I went a little bit lighter and I loved it. Honestly, I'm loving my suit selections this year, and stay on the lookout for a new suit that I'll be wearing at the Denver Mile High. I'm not going to give you too much details on that yet. I want to keep it a secret, but I will be wearing a new suit, so that is very exciting. Now, I talked about my improvements, my upper body, my shoulders. My downgrades were my glute ham tie-ins, but I might also add my improvements. Man, I'm feeling much more comfortable when it comes to posing, when it comes to walking, especially in the back walk. So thank goodness, right? I do feel like it's improving with each show, which is great. I'm by no means the best poser out there, but it does, to me anyway, feel much more fluid and smooth. I feel like I am not, here's the thing about my posing, I'm not like a sultry, sexy poser. I'm more of like a bouncy, bubbly poser, which is different. Everyone has their own style. But for me, this works, and I felt good about it. I felt good about my routine and my walking. So, judges' feedback. What did they say? Well, the judges said, wow, your shoulders and arms are looking so much better, and your posing is looking so much better. However, you still got a little bit of ways to go with the arms and the shoulders. So it's just like a work in progress thing, but they are noticing that it is getting better. So yeah. And also, another thing to add with my posing as well, and the judges noted, I'm standing at a slightly different angle this time around. Not true profile, but a little bit more profile than straight on, because it was mentioned to me by some judges that they would like to see me just a little bit more profile. So I accommodated, and I do think it looks really nice on me. I just gotta be sure I'm not too profile, because when I'm like completely profile, my glutes look really pointy and kind of weird. So I stay kind of like a little bit profile-ish, but at the same time still a little more forward-facing too. But yeah, it is funny that sometimes the judges' feedback, personal preferences come into play. So Although I had judges say they liked my new angle of posing, I did have another judge says, I liked you better more front on, which, again, personal preference, and I understand that. So I just try to accommodate whenever I can. Things to improve on for next show. Like I mentioned, we're continuing to build that upper body. We are going to build that upper outer glute and that tie-in area. I feel like my glute hamstring tie-in went a little, south, like I mentioned. Not terrible though, but it could have been a little bit better. And I would like to be tighter for next show, more conditioned. I do think I look better, more conditioned. Some bikini competitors look better, softer. However, I feel like I'm one of those competitors that I look better, leaner. I pop much more. My lines are much more impressive when I'm conditioned. So yeah, we just got to make sure to balance the conditioning with the fullness, especially up top. And my future plans for this season, just a little heads up. Like I mentioned, my next show is the Denver Mile High. I've won that show all 3 years that they've had it. So they've had it only 3 years, and I've won it each time. They didn't have it in 2020 though, because of COVID. But yeah, I got to defend my title, and I am very fond of Denver. I spent a lot of time out there back in the day when the Contest Prep Center and Coach Adam was located in Denver, Colorado. So it's like a second home to me. So it's going to be good to be back in that atmosphere. I also will be doing the Patriots Challenge here in Las Vegas. It's a muscle contest show. I already signed my contract for that as well. So those are 2 for sure shows I will be doing. And then I want to do the Chicago Pro. Oh my goodness. Yes, the Chicago Pro. I don't think I've ever done the Chicago. No, I haven't. Never done the Chicago Pro, but it looks like a big, exciting show that I got to try. I got to try it. I do plan on doing bigger shows this year too, in addition to smaller shows, because it's funny because I'll always get that criticism that, Ashley, you only compete in small shows. Like, no. I compete in the Arnold. I compete in Pittsburgh Pro. Last year I competed in New York Pro. This year I'm not, because I want to allow my shoulders a little time to grow. But in place of that New York Pro show, I want to do Chicago. So you'll see me most likely at that Chicago Pro stage. I won't sign my contract just yet, just in case something weird happens. But I do plan on being there at the Chicago Pro. And I want to compete in Texas a few times this year as well. And, defend my titles that I've won last year. So more than likely, if I won a show last year, I'll probably be doing that same show this year. So yeah, I'll keep you guys updated with all my plans though. And as a little bonus, guys, this isn't part of the self-assessment, but it is hilarious and it is so funny. I have to share this snap with you guys from the Pittsburgh Pro show. Gosh, here it is.
All right, so time for a little story time. This, to me, is such a funny story, and I have to share it. All right, so for finals, when we were doing our confirmation call-outs towards the end of the show, I had a piece of toilet paper stuck to the bottom of my high heel. I do not know where it came from. It's not mine. I stepped in somebody else's toilet paper, but oh my goodness, it was stuck on there. So I don't know if you guys noticed it or not, but just picture me walking all like sassy, across the stage, doing my thing, and I have this toilet paper stuck to the bottom of my shoe. And thank God for freaking Janet. She tapped me. She's like, girl, you got some on the bottom of your shoe, when we were in the lineup. And I'm like, I looked down, I'm like, oh my God. So then I'm like, on stage in the lineup, and I'm like, how am I about to take this off in the most casual way without drawing more attention to myself? So then I squatted down and I was like, boop. And then I threw it off to the stage and off to the side. And then Laura Lee stepped in the toilet paper. Wow.
I just transferred that toilet paper. Whoops. But it's such a funny story. Oh my gosh. I hope there's photos out there with me with toilet paper on my shoe. I hope so. I really do. And yeah, guys, all in good fun though. Laura Lee wasn't mad. I felt bad though. I felt really bad. I gave her the toilet paper shoe. But we just all laughed about it at the end. And it's one of those things that, you know, you look back on it and you laugh at it. But honestly, this is like the things I have nightmares about. Like, I wouldn't doubt that I would have a nightmare about toilet paper being stuck to my shoe and going on stage and not knowing. But sorry, Laura Lee, sorry. Let me know if you like this voiceover type self-assessment video. I think it can be helpful for you guys out there, and I think it's important to take a good look at ourselves and really be honest with ourselves and take in that judge's feedback to move towards a good physique that we can all be happy with. But until next time, guys, I'll catch you later, and make sure to hit a like and subscribe and comment down below what you thought my best show of the season is so far. And also let me know if you're going to be attending any competitions this year. Maybe you'll see me at one. But yeah, I will catch you guys later. Bye.